So, yeah, I'm here because of what happened to BB, obviously. And I know it's weird to talk about the show while everything else is going on, but you know what they say, the show must go on. And honestly, I could use the distraction to clear my head. Although it didn't really help much since these episodes are strangely similar to what I'm dealing with right now. Although the Pony of Shadows seems a lot more talkative to the one I'm dealing with. And it was nice to hear Star Swirl after seeing him all this time in the series. Even though he was a big jerk. I mean, I get it. Twilight acted impetuously in bringing them all back and thus bringing back the Pony of Shadows. But seriously, dude, lighten up a bit. Especially his condescension towards Starlight in the entire thing. That's not gonna win you over with me, pal. Plus, as much as this season tied into the comics, Star Swirl really wasn't like his comic counterpart. That one was a bit more goofy to the point that Luna compared him to Pinkie Pie. So I kinda wish we'd gotten that version just a little bit. But then again, the threat of encroaching darkness does bring out the best in ponies. At least the other pillars seemed more reasonable, and it was nice to hear a lot of them talk for the first time. It's interesting to see how they were the precursors to the elements of harmony. In fact, judging by their reactions, they didn't even know they made the elements till the gang told them so. And hey, we finally know where the tree came from. And I think this shows the map does indeed have some form of sentience and that it was arguing with Star Swirl what the solution was. Of course, Starlight was the only one to actually realize that, and hey, she ended up being right, so suck on that, Beardo! Yeah, I did love Applejack calling him Mr. The Bearded. It was really nice to see the return of the elements and that, hey, they can still use them instead of having their weird rainbow power things. Which, I guess, yeah, it was just the one time and we're never doing that again, right? Which I'm perfectly okay with because I don't care for those designs. Speaking of, I do feel this season worked a lot better in introducing elements that'll come to fruition in the finale than Season 4 did. And I think that's because the pillars were all introduced in the course of an episode instead of being the focus of the episode. Like, a lot of the Rainbow Connection episodes just felt really forced into making the main six remember what element they were, while the Pillar stories just happened to come up in the course of doing something else. I don't know, it just worked better narratively for me. Also, the mini fetch quest fit in better because it tied into those episodes and which pony told the story of what pillar. And I love the callback to the little archaeologist filly when Applejack went to get the shovel. But that did bring up something a little more disturbing. There's an actual Indiana Jones pony. So then, what does that mean for Daring Do, who also showed up in this episode? I'm so confused about this. Of course, if we're talking about returning characters, there are 3 in particular I need to mention. It was a flashback. And it was quick, but the Dazzlings were in the show! Granted, this did get spoiled for me because of the leaks, but it was still awesome to actually see it. Which means Equestria Girls is canon! So any naysayers still saying that those movies aren't, you can buck right off! And now that we've made this connection, we need to see 1, the mirror portal in Twilight's library at some point, and 2, Sunset come back to Equestria. Which I feel should be handled in a season premiere or finale because of how important it would be. But it would be fun to see them just drop it in the middle of the season like it's nothing. Either way, writers, make it happen. Because as much as I did like these finales, that is what people are talking about the most. Oh, and actually bring them back in the actual EG series. Anyway, back to the actual finale. It somehow felt both epic and low-key. Like the actual stakes were there, but the solution was oddly personal. And I kinda liked that. It felt really appropriate for this series and this season in particular. And it does make me wonder, since Stygian talked about how darkness took him over through jealousy, maybe that is some connection to Nightmare Moon. That is how it happened in the comics, and they are connecting the two more now, so maybe we'll actually get a Nightmare Rarity arc at some point. That would be interesting to see. And it would be interesting to see the Pillars show back up again at some point. I mean, if nothing else, we could probably dedicate a couple episodes to them just getting used to modern pony society. I would just hate to see the characters disappear after all this build-up they've been through. But I guess we'll have to wait till next season for that. For now, I need to go deal with my own shadow problem. Until next time, No.